Hello and welcome to this demo video on third-party risk management in HiBond, featuring the third-party bond solution. Third-party asset management often involves managing third parties manually in spreadsheets or disjointed systems and an uncertainty of how to quantify a third party's value to the business. This can lead to organizational misalignment and a lack of visibility into unknown risks. Without a centralized inventory of third-party assets or knowing an asset's business value, it's difficult to have a clear understanding of the organization's potential vulnerabilities. The good news is that HiBond's third-party bond solution can help you centralize and manage your third-party assets using standardized asset management processes throughout a pre-configured, out-of-the-box visual workflow. With HiBond's third-party bond solution, you can consolidate third-party assets into a central location and standardize your asset management processes. Register assets by assigning asset ownership and ensuring third-party asset accountability, and categorize assets by assigning third parties a criticality level rating to help prioritize the third parties that are most important to assess for risk. Third-party bonds' end-to-end solution for third-party risk management begins with centralizing, registering, and categorizing third-party assets. Use HiBond's asset inventory to consolidate the organization's third-party assets into a central location, creating a single source of truth for third-party assets. When you create a new third-party asset, an out-of-the-box visual workflow based on industry best practices is used to manage the third-party asset, tracking the asset status as you move through the pre-configured asset management workflow. To scale up your asset inventory quickly, use HiBond's bulk importer to import your existing assets. To properly register your third-party asset, you need to assign third-party ownership to a business owner and risk manager. Assigning asset ownership ensures someone is responsible for overseeing the asset's maintenance and life cycle, creating asset accountability, and ensuring the third-party asset continues to perform as needed. Once your third party is registered, you need to categorize the third party by assigning a criticality level score to gauge how mission-critical the third party is to business operations. You can manually populate the criticality level score, or it can be determined using a categorization questionnaire. Using a categorization questionnaire can be helpful to collect cross-functional viewpoints on the asset's criticality to the organization. Asset information, which can include the type of data that is stored on the asset, who has access to the asset, legal and financial implications if the asset were to be compromised, and the operational or financial consequences of the asset becoming unavailable, can all be specified by the asset owner in the questionnaire. Behind the scenes, a HiBond workflow robot, triggered when the questionnaire is submitted, will run and take the responses of the criticality questionnaire and use a scoring algorithm to calculate and populate the third party's criticality level. Once you determine an asset's criticality level, use the visual workflow to approve the asset and move the asset to a categorized state. As more and more of your third-party assets become categorized, you'll have better visibility into which third parties are the most mission-critical and should be prioritized first for risk assessment. To recap, HiBond's third-party bond solution can help you consolidate third-party assets into a central location and standardize the asset management process, register assets by assigning asset ownership and ensuring third-party asset accountability, and categorize assets by assigning third parties a criticality level rating to help prioritize the third parties that are most important to assess for risk. HiBond's third-party bond solution eases the burden of managing third-party assets through centralization, asset accountability, and quantifying third-party asset value. With the pre-configured visual workflow and standardized asset management processes, you can improve oversight of your third parties and create greater organizational alignment on where to prioritize your efforts for third-party risk assessment.